your school doesn't actually matter that much anymore for getting a SWE job, and here's what actually does. So I got offers from Amazon and Google. Here's the Amazon offer letter. Here's the Google team matching email. I'm also the one that built out the machine learning section of NeetCode. So if you go to the machine learning section and you click GPT Learning Hub, this link over here, this is actually my company and my other YouTube channel where I teach AI and machine learning. I also run a community where I help people land software engineering jobs. One of my students, Kevin, just got an interview at OpenAI, which is absolutely insane. And he got an offer from Visa recently, which is absolutely insane. And so I know you. You're probably just applying to positions on this classic simplified GitHub repo, maybe even Handshake if your college has Handshake. And you think you're cooked because maybe you didn't go to a great school, one of those like insane CS schools like Carnegie Mellon, Berkeley, Stanford, MIT. And so you might be worried that your school is basically preventing you from getting a solid software engineering job. But I'm going to explain why school doesn't really matter that much anymore and what actually does. But first, we need to understand why school used to help a ton. And the reason for that is alumni networks. People who went to these schools like Berkeley, Stanford, CMU, MIT, they had these crazy alumni networks. And, they would actually be able to get referrals at these top tech companies, like big tech companies. And these referrals would help them get the interview and just give them a way higher chance of getting an offer. But you probably know that referrals don't really help that much anymore for landing a SWE offer. They can still help a little bit, but you probably know tons of people that got a referral, still got rejected, or didn't even get an interview. And maybe that's happened to you as well. And the reason referrals don't matter that much anymore is because there's literally so many ways to get referrals these days. Everyone and their mom is just DMing engineers on LinkedIn trying to get referrals. And there's even this website, Referral Hub. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but this is literally a website where you can just straight up buy referrals at big tech companies. Amazon referral for 51 bucks, Nvidia referral for 35 bucks. So referrals don't matter as much anymore as they used to. And as a result, your school and your alumni network don't really matter as much as they used to either. And so that then kind of begs the question, all right, what actually matters? How do you actually get a software engineering job in 2026 if spamming applications on the Simplify repo doesn't work? Well, there's a couple of things, and really two things. And one of them is cold email. And before you kind of roll your eyes and say, I don't want to reach out to recruiters over cold email, this actually works. This is how I got offers from Amazon and Google. And this is the same strategy that all my students are using these days. And so how do you actually cold email recruiters? Well, I have this like full 13-page guide on how to actually cold email recruiters. If you want it, just drop a link drop a comment below. And so I have these templates here on how to actually cold email the recruiters, what to actually say. And it's pretty straightforward. You literally just use templates. But the bigger thing you're probably thinking about is how do you actually find recruiter emails, right? And so let's say you're trying to cold email a recruiter from Google to try and get an interview. So what you would do is you would type in something like early talent or university talent, and you just get this early career recruiter at Google. Obviously, there's many early career recruiters at Google, but this is just one that came up. And we can click on her profile over here. And then there's this Chrome extension called Apollo. So it's a completely free Chrome extension that you can get from the Chrome Web Store. And this really solves one of the biggest problems in finding recruiter emails, right? Because it literally just, with like 99.99% accuracy, can guess the right email for any recruiter. And so you're on their profile, you click this yellow button. This yellow button will come up once you actually install the Apollo Chrome extension. And then boom, you get the recruiter's work email. Like this is literally her Google domain email, like her work email. It also gives you their personal email address as well, but I would not recommend reaching out to them there. I think it's kind of like a violation of privacy, and they probably don't take it as seriously as their actual work email, like where they actually do their recruiting work, where they have to find and hire candidates. And so cold email, I said there were going to be two strategies, right? What actually matters these days if your school and referrals don't matter as much anymore? Well, one of them is cold email. Again, there's this full guide over here. Just drop a comment below if you want this. And then the other thing that matters is writing a really freaking good resume. Most people think their resume is fine. Maybe they got a few friends, maybe they call like their family members to look at it, and they think their resume is fine. But the truth is, again, in my community, I have reviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of student resumes at this point, And so I know exactly which resumes actually get past ATS and which resumes actually stand out to recruiters and which ones don't. And after reviewing this many resumes, I can tell you for a fact that your resume is probably not perfect. It probably still has issues, especially if you're not getting that many interviews right now. Well, your resume has to be the issue. And so this video will probably be a bit too long if I go into like every single detail on how to optimize your resume. I'll make a separate video on that. But I want to give you like a few things that you can do to your resume today to start getting more interviews. And so the first thing, dude, just have your education section at the top of your resume. If you put your education section at the bottom, then recruiters are going to think you're some kind of like senior or like really advanced engineer who's like later into their career, and they're going to judge you way harder, right? But you're probably watching this video, you're probably a new grad or early in your career, maybe even a student. And so you want your education section to be at the top so that they know that you're, still pretty junior in your career. They'll be way more lenient with you and they won't judge you as harshly. The next thing is you've got to fix your damn titles. Oh my gosh, dude. I review so many resumes and people put like research assistant, full stack developer, IT intern, backend developer, web developer. Just change all of the titles to software engineer. Do that today and you will get more interviews. This is something that recruiters specifically look for if you're applying for a software engineering job. They want to make sure you have previous experience with the title software engineer. And remember, recruiters don't read everything on your resume. They kind of just skim it for 7 seconds. That's actually been proven to be the average. And so they're really just looking at the title, software engineer, software engineer, software engineer. Boom. You instantly look way more credible for a software engineering role because it looks like you have this super comprehensive track record of experience that makes you a good fit for the role. But if you have some that are like research assistant, some that's like full stack developer, some that's like back-end developer, some that's IT intern, I know it sounds dumb, but to a recruiter, that makes your profile look so much more scattered and disorganized. But if you just put all the titles, just change them to software engineer, even if that wasn't your actual title at the job, it doesn't matter. Just put it as software engineer. It's going to help you get way more interviews. Trust me on that. And that strategy has literally helped me get offers from Amazon and Google, and it's working for all my students right now. And one last thing that you should really pay attention to on your resume is the technical skills section, which by the way should be at the bottom of your resume. Make sure you fix that as well. And the reason the technical skills section is so important is because ATS is real, right? Companies do use various scanning algorithms to check for certain keywords on your resume. So you want to have as many on there as possible. There are some people who are like, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's kind of unethical. I think it doesn't matter. I think it's just part of the game. It's part of the recruiting game. Just put as many keywords and technologies and tools on your resume as possible. I mean, literally everyone does that anyways. The one caveat I would give is don't put stuff on your resume that you literally have no understanding or familiarity with at all, right? Make sure you're at least vaguely familiar with some kind of tool, framework, or technology. Maybe you've used it once before you put it on your resume. But other than that, like people need to get off their moral high horse, stop virtue signaling and just, put the keywords on your resume because it does work. It will help you get more interviews. And so if you want one-on-one guidance from me and my entire team of FANG engineers with this entire recruiting process, like we'll help you with your resume, mock interviews, everything, just click that link below, book a call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit for this program. And we actually guarantee that you get a big tech offer by the end of our program. And if you don't, you literally just get a full refund. Like we'll literally just refund every single penny that you paid to join the program. So you either get a big tech offer, or if you don't, then you get a full refund. So you have nothing to lose. So click that link below, book a call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit. And YouTube thinks that you're going to like these YouTube videos. It's going to put some on the screen right now. Click those, watch those as well, and I'll talk to you soon.